Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Small Biz Diaries. I'm truly happy and grateful to have you here. Today, I'm super excited to introduce Rebecca Lopez. She's the founder of Sunrise Bookworm Co. She's an incredible woman that brings the magic of literature and fandom to life, literally, through beautifully handcrafted candles, wax melts, and more. Every one of her products is made with 100% vegan soy wax and 100% love, designed to capture the joy that books and fictional characters bring to our everyday lives. She's also the founder of the Sunrise Pop-Up Market in Arizona, where she's gathered tons of other small business owners to showcase their products and build a sense of community within their niche. In this episode, we'll explore finding your niche in a saturated market, a candle maker's story. As Becca shares how she's turned her passion for books into her business and found her own unique space in the competitive world of candle making. Get ready for insightful and beautiful conversation on how building a brand with heart and creativity can truly help you carve out your niche. Alrighty, welcome to Small Biz Diaries, everyone. Another episode. I'm super excited to have Rebecca here. As a reminder, this is the podcast where we dive into the real life challenges, triumphs, and unfiltered stories of entrepreneurship, of being a small business owner. There's really no guide or rule book or steps you need to follow. So everybody's journey is so unique, and I'm just super excited for you guys to hear about Rebecca's journey. We're going to be diving into finding your niche in a saturated market, which she has a lot of expertise in. So I'm excited for her to unpack what that means for her and her candle making journey.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Esperanza, for having me on with you today. I'm super excited to share my journey with Small Biz Diaries. Okay, so Sunrise Bookworm Co. started off originally as Sunrise Bookworm Candle Company because we specialize in candles. But Sunrise is because I am a early bird, so I'm always up before the sun. I love watching it with a cup of coffee. And then Bookworm, I've been a book nerd for as long as I can remember, so together it made Sunrise Bookworm Co. But another little tidbit is that I'm the sun and my husband is the moon. So sunrise is me and sunset is him. So
like yin and yang. It's beautiful.
Yes. So I'm Mrs. Sunrise and he's Mr. Sunrise for the company.
Nice. I love that. And how did this candle making journey start for you? I know candles obviously are something that you can find at any market, right? But
yeah.
How did the story start with you for your business?
So the story for Sunrise Bookworm started with it was in December of 2018. Yes, 2018 or 2017. But we couldn't afford to go up north because you had to get your car fixed. But my husband loves the smell of the northern pines in Flagstaff, Arizona. So I had enough supplies from a craft kit I got on a whim to make a candle. So I made a candle that smelled like Flagstaff for him. And his reaction to seeing this candle was, it just brought joy to my heart to see him react to this gift that I made. And it smelled good. And I was like, okay, well, what kind of candle do I want? And it kind of snowballed from there. It's like, all right, I want something that's kind of, I love Gilmore Girls. Let's do something coffee scented. All right, let's give it a more Gilmore Girls themed a name, Java Junkie, because Lorelai Gilmore's a Java junkie. And then it kind of delved into mental health awareness for Supernatural with their motto of always keep fighting. So I made an always keep fighting candle for mental health awareness to remind people that you are never alone, which is my motto in life, is that my DMs are always open, my emails are always open. Please remember you are never alone. I lost someone very, very close who lost their battle to depression. Since then, I use my platform to advocate for mental health awareness, to normalize reaching out when you aren't feeling okay.
Yeah, no, I think one of the most unique parts about your story is that you refined from a very, very early point what distinctions you were going to have to try to set your business apart within, the candle industry. Yeah. Which, did you, going into it, ever have the thoughts of how am I going to stand out, or industry's already super saturated? Did you have those thoughts beforehand, or did you just kind of say, you know what, this is something that I'm excited about, and these are things that walk us through that process?
So I was only aware of one other company that did anything bookish inspired, and she was actually a college friend, and I was really proud of what she was doing, but what she had wasn't the books I was reading. And so I was like, okay, well, I want to do something similar but completely different because I am my own person. Like you said, I wanted my own brand. So yes, from the very beginning, I thought about how I could be unique. So I chose to do books that were dear to my heart. I only do books that I've read so I can have personal influences into it. We use recyclable materials for packaging and glass for all of our products. But I think the coolest thing about us is that we produce everything in-house from start to finish. So from the label design, label printing, product production, packaging, getting it scheduled to be picked up for the post office drop off, it is all me and my husband helping me because there's certain things I can't physically do. So he has to help me with production.
Mhm.
But other than that, it's wild to think that we went from a 800 square foot apartment where I was only making 5 candles at a time, having to lug boxes of wax up a flight of stairs because I had to get everything shipped to my grandparents' house and then bring it to the apartment because you couldn't have stuff delivered to the apartment. And now we can make 180 at a time if we wanted. However, we have learned to stick to the small batch pouring so we can give each product its attention to detail quality that it deserves. So we do small batch pouring, even though we have the capacity to do higher volume.
Yeah.
So
And I mean, those are things you learned along the way, right? Like
yes,
there,
yes,
it takes some growing pains, I'm sure.
yes. I don't think any business owner is ever really ready to jump into being a business owner. Like the first year was ups and downs. I was making 4 new scents a month and releasing them. And I got over up to 100 cents really quick, but I also struggled with burnout after the first year and a half of this. And while doing this business, I was working a full 40. So at one point I was in restaurants, another point I was in construction management, and it was tough. I was working 2 jobs at the same time because this business is my dream.
I think that what I find it came natural to you throughout your journey is to be intentional about what it was you wanted to do and how it was you wanted it to reflect in your brand, right? Like you
Yes.
held certain things super close to you, like what was important, right? So raising awareness, using recyclable materials, choosing books that were intentional because they meant something to you and might mean something else to others. And I feel like those steps of intentionality and crafting your brand around those helped in distinguishing, okay, yes, the candle industry is huge and there's a lot of vendors that you see that have candles, but this is a unique part of why it's important to me in my journey, and I'm hopeful that someone can, also feel the same way about the candles themselves and the story they're trying to tell and things like that.
You got it on the head. I'm glad that I can translate what I'm trying to say properly
Yeah,
because
no, I
it's
mean
I
that
do it
that
for you guys. I do it
yeah.
for the followers, for the customers, a little bit for myself, but every scent has an inspiration behind it, personal, fictional. You can ask me about it and I can tell you about it at any time. I think the other intentionality is that I wanted to make a platform for the Hispanic community as well, because as a Latina business owner, I want to let that shine because I'm the first one in my family to have ever gone to college, to have gotten a bachelor's degree. I never took a business class. I was an English major. I was an English teacher. So I do research every day to learn about business, to learn about marketing and strategies for my business. And it's a lot of work on top of everything else that I do, but like you said, the intentionality of making sure my brand is unique to what makes me happy and what I think resonates with the general population at the same time is important. All my scents are truly unique, just to us. Because I know where people get their materials from, I can tell when someone is just using one fragrance oil and calling it a candle. I use a minimum of at least 3 different fragrance oils at proprietary ratios to create a truly unique blend. So, and that blend can be translated into a candle, wax melt, soap, or lotion. So we like to have the practicality and the versatility throughout all of our product lines. And they're all soy wax, phthalates free. Well, the candles are soy wax and the soaps and lotions are goat's milk, but that's intentional as well.
Yeah.
Soy wax because the big body companies use paraffin wax, which is just burning plastic and you're inhaling toxins. Soy wax, this is one of my in progress candles actually right now. It has natural frosting to it, but it's a clean burn. It's safe for you, for your kids, for your pets, and we don't use anything that is toxic for any of those people. So I work with all these with my hands, and because it can go into our goat's milk products. I have eczema, and my husband is a dry scaly lizard. He's going to love that I said that on the internet. But since we started using our goat's milk soap and lotions that we make in house and add essential oils and vitamin E to, my eczema's gotten better and his skin is beautiful now. Luscious.
No, and I think you are such a prime example as to why and how much thought goes into craft and or like a passion to put a product together in a small business owner sense, why it's so important to support local, right? Like as you said, with doing everything in house, you're able to really put that, inspiration, passion, intentionality behind everything so that that way it reflects in the product that you're putting out. And that's one of my favorite parts about supporting small businesses, and being able to see that reflect in their products is just so inspirational. Like, right, you have that like magic touch that not a lot of people have, that when you buy a candle at Target or somewhere else, you almost like feel and have a better idea that there was a lot of time, energy, effort, passion put into this.
Yes, I try so hard to strive for perfection, but my husband has to remind me it's handmade. It's like
Yeah.
it's gonna be a little imperfect, and that's what makes it unique. I'm like, but it needs to be beautiful. He's like, it's soy wax. Calm yourself.
Yeah. You already,
But
we all have to have that person that brings us, like, helps our
that,
equilibrium a little bit. Yeah, exactly. What would you say has been the toughest part, or something that you struggle with when it comes to, all the things that you're doing to put everything together?
social media, staying consistent on social media, coming up with consistent content, and then fighting the algorithm is a daily struggle and trying to battle that. But when it comes to creation, it doesn't feel like work. It brings me joy every day to come in here and brainstorm a scent idea or to create a new design, because most of the designs are made by me. So that part of running a shop, the creative side, is easy. The production and the social media is where it gets hard. Production is hard for me because I have chronic spine issues and pain. So I can only lift X amount. I can only sit in a certain position or stand for X amount of time before I have to go and stretch. So balancing my time in the morning of what I can get out with enough energy, and then having to switch to admin work in the afternoon, is learning adapt to that. But I'm very fortunate to be able to have brought this company full time after 5 years in February of 2024. So I get to,
Amazing.
live my dream right now. And I think the biggest struggle, I mentioned too, but overall, the biggest struggle is the financial instability.
Hmm.
Being a small business owner with the type of gift shop products that I have, it's seasonal. People don't want candles when it's 115-degree weather. I tried selling in markets outdoors and everybody looked at me like that goes insane. I was like, I'm broke. I need to try and make something here. Learning how to ride the waves of the sales and the seasons, so you know when to be lean on stuff and when to be heavy, when to prepare ahead, took me years to figure out when I needed to start preparing Halloween scent stuff to get ahead of the game and get it out on time, because as one person I can make stuff, but then it takes me a week to package 100 products. So we already have our Halloween scents out, our fall scents, our winter scents are available, and then I just chose to make everything. We used to make everything small batch, ready to ship out. But with over 100 scents and 9 different product items, that became too impractical. So now we make everything to order in small batch. So if one person orders one scent, we make 6 candles of that scent or 6 items of that scent, so we have it on
Hmm.
hand. And
Okay.
that has created a lot more freedom for me and space in my house and less stress, so I can have that creativity to create more and more without having to physically make it. So if that makes sense, I can do like mock-ups of them.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it sounds like you've tried to like find your workflow that works best based
Yes. Yeah.
off of customers. And I think we were talking about this on our initial writers call, that you love doing markets for that reason, that you kind of get a sense of like doing that market research and seeing, what sense people are gravitating towards, what things people are smelling and instantly being like, oh, this reminds me of this, and you hadn't even thought about that, right? So you're kind of going with the flow as you're trying to like figure out your processes and systems in place too. So I feel like that part of it is almost like touch and go.
Yes. And speaking of markets, we attended markets of other people for about a year and they were good, but it wasn't my niche. It wasn't my target audience of who I wanted to come and see my product because book nerds, very slim with the older community. And with the locations, it just wasn't my area. Earlier this year started a pop-up market called Sunrise Market, and it's a local Arizona pop-up market hosted throughout the valley, and we bring local businesses together and they showcase their businesses, and our goal is to allow them to truly shine. So we only have like 1 to 2 of the same vendor type at these events, and people come, sell their products. Each one has a theme. It's amazing to see so many different people come together with this one notion that we're going to create an atmosphere that people want to come, buy, support, and enjoy. And the camaraderie, the friendship, it's amazing. Small business owners are crazy. You have to be
You have to be
crazy
a
to
little
do
bit
what we
crazy.
do.
Yeah.
And to meet someone that gets that, oh, I'm going to put 14 hours in today and maybe eat twice, they get it. They understand that. They're like, I feel that drive. I did the same thing. So to have those people to talk to is fantastic. But back to candles, the market research is priceless at these pop-up events. People tell me what they like, what they don't like, what they want to see. And then it leads to that connection of take a card, email me, and I can make you something custom. So because I do everything in-house, everything I can create can be customized. So at any quantity from 1 to 1,000 if we wanted to. And with that customization, I have found my other niche with the indie author community. So I make products for the indie authors and I don't charge them up front for it. It's a let me host it on my website. I'll cross promote with you and your name and brand gets out there. And then they can buy it at a wholesale rate to sell on their own too. And I've worked with several, Vanessa Renessen, Ashley A. Hardy, Kay Lita. Oh my gosh, it's just amazing to work with these authors. There's a big trad publisher that actually reached out to me and we're working on her stuff too, but I can't say anything until it's all finalized.
You can tease it out a little bit, but you wait until it's the right moment to start talking about it.
But it's great. It's a community. And it's
Yeah.
amazing.
I knew this topic would resonate with you with finding your niche, but I think the part that really hits home is the fact that you've been able to carve out your niche or find your niche within the different layers and aspects of your business, right? So
Yes.
candles, books, markets, working with indie authors, like you're navigating your industry, but then you're still trying to find ways where it will truly resonate with people, whether it's within community, with markets, or within, candles or books. Like, I think that's an important lesson for small business owners is that, like, you shouldn't feel limited by what's in your industry and what people are already doing. Like, make sure that you're looking for things that not only will resonate with you as the founder, CEO, entrepreneurial like leader, but also that will resonate with others that are shopping your products or shopping your like working with your services and things like that. People should not be afraid to carve out their own path and try to find their own niche if it doesn't
Yeah.
already exist, which is exactly what you've done. And I think that that's so inspirational and helpful for so many people because, I mean, it's hard. It can be hard as a small business owner, to say the least.
Yeah. Yeah. And then one more way we've carved out our niche is that with Sunrise Bookworm Co., we have started Readers of the Valley, which is a book and author convention, because working with those indie authors, I realized they need a place that's affordable for them to shine and let people know who they are. We have Readers of the Valley in January 2025 with over 50 authors and bookish vendors, and it'll have a found family, a Saturday night party. It's going to be 14 hours of signing. It's going to be a blast. Just to get to know all these authors is, the
Yeah.
fact that they want to take a chance on me and I get to take a chance on them, and together we get to create something beautiful. It makes my heart happy.
Yeah.
I always try to stay humble and grateful and remind myself that every like, comment, order is someone saying, hey, I believe in you. And like I have one customer who's been ordering from me since 2019 on Etsy. She orders maybe 3 times a year, but she always writes me a little message, and I write her a little message back, and I put it in her package because I do it all here.
Yeah.
So
No,
it's fun.
it's beautiful. I that story within itself and that narrative within itself for how much goes into like making those details happen or putting those intentionalities behind it is just so beautiful. And on that note, right, with everything that you've done and everything that you've carved out within your own business and within your own industry, what advice would you give to someone that wants to go into candles or go into markets, like anything that comes to mind that you think might help someone within that space?
Do your research. Try not to copy people. If you have a real idea that's uniquely your own, you won't need to be stalking other businesses and stealing their ideas. There's enough room in the sandbox for everybody. Everybody can have a spot. Everybody can carve their own niche and be something truly unique. Collaborate with people. Find other people similar in industries and say, hey, are you interested in working together? There is a Latina candle making company, and her candles are completely different than mine. I'd love to collaborate with her and use my lotions or my stickers as a combo box. You want to touch other brands in a positive way and support them, because no one's going to support a small business owner like another small business owner. And you're never going to be ready. You're never going to feel ready. You can do all the research, you can cross all the T's, dot all the I's, but you're going to have to just kind of like jump as if you're going on a skydive and have faith that you're going to land on the ground safely. I believe in you. I'm here if you ever have any questions. And you're going to carve your own niche and make something great, and the world's going to love it. It's going to be hard. You're going to want to give up. Don't. Keep going. And get insurance. Seriously, if you are doing any events or if you are doing anything with flame going on people's body, you need to have the correct insurance to protect yourself, your family, and your financials.
Yeah, yeah. Good point. Good, important logistical point. No, everything you said resonates, and obviously not only for your industry, but also in general as a small business owner, the things that we have to navigate. And yeah, I mean, I think the last question that I want to ask you that I think will help others is there a mindset shift within your own journey as a small business owner that you think has helped you with tough days or things that like when things aren't going well or when there is that financial instability? Like, is there something that you feel like you have to go through mentally to try to push yourself through?
Um, well, there's a few things for that, but it wasn't necessarily a shift. It's just kind of how I was raised. My grandmother always told me to just push through.
Mm.
So I have depression myself and other stuff, and we have to just kind of pull up our bootstraps and push through the day. And then, once we get what we need done, we can crumble. And then the only person who's ever told me I can't do something is myself. So if I don't believe in myself, how can I do it? So I always have to put that extra effort to be the one to believe in me first. And then the last one was really good. It was right there on the tip of my tongue. Give me a minute. I
Oh
apologize.
no, you're fine. Take your time. Take your time.
Repeat the question, it'll click.
If there was a specific mindset shift or just something that you think
Oh,
you
yes.
to get you through the
Lastly,
tough days. Yeah.
I'm obsessed with the TV show Supernatural. So if Sam and Dean can get through the day and save the world, I can get up and do what I need to do for my business.
I love it. That's like the perfect third point. I'm glad you remembered,
Yes, me too.
especially because it's so anchored with, I mean, your passion and what Sunrise Bookworm and all of the reader, everything that you're doing, I think is originated from those passions. And I'm a huge Gilmore Girls fan. So I think, especially with fall coming up, I'm going to New England. So there's going to be a lot of inspiration coming from there. And I think that candles,
Yes.
candles help really, bring that out. So I appreciate everything that you've shared, everything that you've been open about. And I think that what you're doing is incredible. Always say with like any product based businesses, there's so much that goes into it that people aren't seeing. Even if you were to be as transparent as possible online, you still don't see the everyday work, struggle, things that
Yeah.
you're doing to try to like really continue on a day-to-day basis. So I feel like everything you shared just gave us even that more of a sneak peek behind the scenes of trying to find your niche and navigating your own world in the candle making industry and markets and things like that.
I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to give my insight, and I'm glad I was able to share my story. I hope it helps some people.
Thank you. I'm going to drop everything so that people can connect with you and find all the different initiatives. I wish I was closer to Arizona to take advantage of them, but
I know.
it's somewhere I've never been to, so I'm sure at some point I'll take a trip. But I'll make sure to leave all of those links below so that people can connect with Rebecca and support her and check out all of her amazing candles and products. And yeah, I'm just thankful again for your time. And please let me know if there's anything else we can do to support. If you want to share anything that you have coming up, I know you mentioned fall scents and things like that that you want to share within this space as well.
Yes. So we always have 11% off discount codes available 365 days a year on our website. So if you go onto our Instagram at Sunrise Bookworm Co, you'll see a highlight that says rep codes or brand codes. They will be codes that you can apply a discount or to receive 11% off. We ship to the US, UK, and Canada. If the shipping seems high for the other countries, please feel free to send me an email and we can look at it and see. Make sure you get the most bang for your buck. And be sure to sign up for the email newsletter because that way you find out details about Sunrise Bookworm Co., Sunrise Market, and Readers of the Valley. So that is on our website at sunrisebookwormco.com. A little thing pops up and you get to sign right up and you get 15% off for doing that too.
Amazing. No, you laid it all out there. That's perfect. Like transcribe exactly what you said just to make sure. I love the way you said it. Yeah, but thank you again. I appreciate everything.